Hi guys and welcome. Today I'm going to do another look using the brand new Chanel, the Camelia Futura Collection, but today I'm going to focus mainly on the eyes using the Stylo contour sticks because I did purchase two shades in this, a beautiful taupe and also that really gorgeous peach shade as well, and I may use one shade from the eyeshadow quad. All my skincare is done. I put on another layer of sunscreen probably about 15 minutes ago, and instead of the usual Chanel primer I'm going to use the iridescent illuminating fluid. This is absolutely beautiful. When I reviewed this collection a few days ago in my video, I said how surprised I was with this fluid, and it is just gorgeous. So I just do one pump of that, put that all over as a base. It's really beautiful. I'm going to use a more matte foundation today. It's going to be a Chanel one, but more matte because it's summertime here, and with my oily skin, if I use a foundation that is more glowy, then with this base it'll just become too much. But I do think I'll also get a lot of use with this base with different types of foundations as well. When it gets into the cooler weather, I'll be able to move more into those glowy foundations. So I think that it just gives a really beautiful base. You can see the glow, but it's not too much. It just looks really healthy. And what I also like about this fluid is that it doesn't feel oily in any way, and it sets down. It doesn't set down to a matte because you've got that beautiful glow, but it doesn't go towards that oily type of look, and it doesn't feel oily either. So for the foundation today, I'm going to use the Chanel Ultra Le Tint Velvet. This is the reformulated one, and I did a dedicated video on this, and I also showed this in natural light as well. Now you do have to shake this before you use it, and I've already done that. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand, and today I'm going to put it on using a beauty blender. I was concerned when this was reformulated. I thought maybe it won't be as good as the original because I absolutely love it. But it is a really beautiful foundation, works well with my oily skin. And I also think those with normal skin will be able to use this foundation as well. It is, as it says, a velvet finish. It's not a flat matte. It just gives your skin this really gorgeous base. And I just decided to use a beauty blender today to put it on, but it works just as well using a brush. It's just that with today, it's going to be another hot day here. That seems to have been gone on for weeks now. I just prefer when it's going to be warm to use a beauty blender. I love how a beauty blender just presses in the foundation. But I also like it that you get that beautiful cooling effect when you're putting on your foundation as well. So this is the first time that I've used these two together, the new fluid and this velvet foundation. And I think the finished look is really beautiful because you have that velvet finish of the foundation, but you've also got that really gorgeous glow as well. I think it's a really good match. So for the concealer, I'm going to use the Chanel Sublimage. I think the shade that I use is 32, and I talk about this concealer a lot, but I really love it. I think it is super flattering on mature skin. It gives the right amount of coverage, and it's also super moisturizing. And I think when I say I've got oily skin and then I say that I like a concealer that is moisturizing, it can be confusing, but underneath your eyes you really do need to keep them really moisturized. Otherwise, once it dries down, if it goes to a flat matte, then what you're going to do is emphasize your wrinkles. And I mean, I'm 55 years old, I've got wrinkles and crinkles under my eyes, and that's fine, but I don't want a makeup product that's going to emphasize them, and this is concealer that just works beautifully. And it's because of all the really beautiful skincare ingredients in it. So I'm nearly out of my NARS eyeshadow base that I normally put on, and I can't get another one at the moment. It's always sold out at Mecca here in New Zealand. So today I'm going to use the Hourglass one. I purchased this for the first time last year, and this is also a really beautiful eyeshadow base. I just put on the tiniest amount, and it does a really good job of just mattifying my eyelids. Again, not so that they're really dried down, but just helps keep those oils at bay so my eyeshadows last throughout the day. And then for my eyebrows, I'm going to use the Chanel. This is the micro pencil. I really love this. And I've also got the original eyebrow pencil as well. But ever since this one came out, I do tend to use this one more. I quite like it that it's got that fine little point on it. I don't do too much to my eyebrows, but there are a couple of gaps, and I just find with a finer pencil that's just easier for me to control. And I'm nearly out of my Benefit eyebrow gel. I think I've got an Anastasia Beverly Hills one that I picked up a while ago that was on sale here at Sephora in New Zealand. And I like either one. I just like it because it holds my brows in place, but it doesn't have a crunchy or heavy feel. So for powder under my eyes, I'm going to use the Tom Ford one. This is the Architecture Soft Matte one, and I just tap my finger in there and just place a small amount over the concealer. And I like this powder for under my eyes because again it has really lovely skincare ingredients, so it's not too drying. It's not good enough, especially for this time of the year with my oily skin. It doesn't mattify my foundations enough, but for under my eyes it's just perfect. So I'm going to use the Chanel Natural Finish Loose Powder, one of my favorite powders, and I'm going to use my Lumiere brush. I'm not going to put a lot on because the foundation, this one, works so well with my oily skin. It has that beautiful velvet finish on it, but I still need to do a light powdering because today is not only going to be really hot, I think it's also going to be humid as well. So I just need to do that light dusting. And for bronzer today, I'm going to use the Chanel Le Beige's the Healthy Glow Sun Kiss Powder. It's a really long title, and this is in the one Light Coral. I bought all of these palettes, but this would be the one that I reach for the most, especially this bronzer. I love this shade, and it's more subtle, but I find that you can build it up, and I really only just want just a light covering of bronzer today. So now let's get into the eye look. I will swatch these on the back of my hand to show you. I got the one Taupe and the other one is called Peche, so it's a really beautiful soft peach colour. And I think there was also an orange one as well, but I'm glad that I picked up this one. These just go beautifully together. And the other thing with these Stylo contours is that once you put them on, you've blended them, they stay put all day. There is no creasing, they don't move around, and I find that they're really easy to blend as well. So here you've got the Taupe and the Peach, and both of these are matte. So what I do with these is I just do one eye at a time, and I just start on the outer corner, place quite a bit of product. You can put a little bit for the crease if you want to. These blend out beautifully. I think to begin with, I'm just going to take the Sonia G, this is the mini booster brush, and blend that out. Now even though these dry down, and once they have, they don't budge, you do have time to blend them out. Now because they do dry down after probably a minute or two, you don't really need to panic, but I definitely do one eye at a time. I wouldn't place product on this eye, on that one, then start blending and then move over to that one, because you'd find that one had dried down by the time you had finished. But they blend really, really beautifully, and I find that you can also get, so you get that depth, and then you can get it so that it goes lighter as well, so you get that gradient. So what I might do is, once I've also put the peach shade on as well, is then go back and maybe add a little bit of extra depth in the outer corner. I'll just see what it looks like. Now I'm going to take my Rapper number 3, and I'm going to use this as a liner on my lower lash line, but it's quite thick, and there is a sharpener, but I still don't find it thin enough as a typical eyeliner. So I just grab a brush and just sweep it over the top, and then just place it on my lower lash line. Again, it just blends out really, really easily. And then I just want it a little bit deeper, so I'll just put a little bit more on, just on the outer third. Then I'm going to go into this beautiful peach shade and pop quite a bit on my lid and also up through here as well. And then I'm just going to take a different brush and blend that out. Then we're going to go back to this taupe shade and add a little bit more to the outer corner. And one good thing about these is that you can build them up, even though the first layer that I put down has dried down now. You can build upon it and it doesn't lift the shade that you've already laid down. And there you can add some extra depth if you want to. Now you can just leave the eyeshadow look like this, put on a little bit of eyeliner, mascara. It is really beautiful. I have worn it just like this a couple of times, but I think it was the day before yesterday when I did this eye look for a third time. I also used one of the shades from the Utopia quad. This is a really pretty quad and I used most of this in the other video that I did. But today I'm just going to go into this shade here and I'm going to use one of the applicators that's in the quad and I'm just going to put a little bit of this just over top of that peach shade, just in here. And it just lifts the shade that little bit. But like I said, if you just want to wear both of the shadows, the contours just by themselves, that looks really beautiful as well. And then I'm just going to stay with that shade and just put a little bit in the corner. Now for my upper lash line, I'm going to use the taupe shade, but again, it's a little bit too thick for me to control. So I just take one of my brushes and just sweep it over the top and then just push it into the lash line. So off camera I just put on some mascara and here is the finished eye look. And I love this and it's super quick to do. In the video I'm talking and showing you things, but the other day when I put the whole look together, it took me, when I did it yesterday, I think it took 10 to 15 minutes. It really is just super quick. So now let's put on the blush. This is the Camelia Futura one. It's really beautiful. It does have a little brush with it, but I'll be using one of my own today. And what I'm going to do is just concentrate more on these two shades. You've got this really beautiful soft pink and then you've got this gorgeous coral here as well. This is more of a deep apricot, but the last couple of times or 3 times that I've done this eye look, I've concentrated more on these two shades. So I'm just going to take my Chocohodo brush and sweep it in between those two shades. And I think this blush is just beautiful. I think I mentioned it in my other video when I was trying this out, that the blush does have a fragrance. I don't think it's overwhelming at all, but then I do like fragrance in my makeup products. But there's some people that can't stand any sort of perfume in their makeup products, but I just thought I'd let you know that there definitely is fragrance there. But this blush is beautiful. Now you can just do a really gorgeous sheer wash of colour and you can build it up as well, and the embossing on this is just beautiful. Now in the video where I was trying this collection, I did swatches of this blush and also did some comparisons as well. So if I remember when editing this video and once I've uploaded it to YouTube, I'll pop the link to my other video up there. Then I'm going to go back to the iridescent illuminating fluid and just put the tiniest amount on the back of my hand, just a tiny little dot. And I do like it that the pump, you can control it, so you don't have to do a full pump if you just want to use it as a highlight and don't want to put it underneath your foundation. But I think it just gives this gorgeous illumination to the face, and because it is so subtle and doesn't emphasize texture in any way, normally I just put a highlight on my cheekbones, but with something like this, and I did this with the Sublimage one that was released a couple of years ago as well, I also put some down the bridge of my nose and just what's left of my hand, just dot a little bit just above the eyebrows as well. You could even put some just above your eye makeup if you wanted to. So for the lipstick, I'm going to use one of the Rouge Coco Flashes. I'm going to use the one Peachy today. The other one is Rosa, which is absolutely gorgeous. And when I tried them both on in my other video, I preferred Rosa over this one Peachy. and this one has quite a lot of gold in it, so if you swipe it back and forth over your lips you get quite a lot of gold. But also in that video what I did is take that off, and then I put on a more nude lip liner and then just popped a little bit of this over the top, and I thought it looked really beautiful. And so I've worn it a couple of times since doing that video as well. I think that combination is really gorgeous. So first of all I'm just going to put on Chanel lip liner, and this shade is Peachy Nude. So I put that lip liner all over my lips and then go into the Rouge Coco Flash, the one in Peachy, and what I do is just dab it along the lips. So I'll do the bottom lip first. So I just dab it through there and a little bit on the top as well. And then I think the lip liner with the shade is really pretty and goes really beautiful with this look as well. So when the whole look is put together, I think this is a gorgeous summer look, really pretty. The Stylo contours I don't think can be underestimated. They are gorgeous, and as well as this look being really quick to do, the other great thing, if you're going away for a couple of days and don't want to take much makeup with you, you can just grab a couple of the pens. You can also use it as the eyeliner as well. Really simple and really convenient as well. And of course these just last all day. The other day when I wore this, not yesterday because I put on my makeup a bit later, but the last time that I used them I had my makeup on. It would have been 10 to 12 hours. And the eyeshadows looked just as good as when I'd first put them on. It was a hot day, I have oily skin. I do have eyeshadow primer on, but that eventually wears off probably after the 10-hour mark or so, and sometimes eyeshadows can start to fade, but these ones last really beautiful. I also find that they are super easy to blend as well. I think this collection from Chanel is absolutely gorgeous. It is really cohesive, and I think it's been really well put together. The blush is beautiful. That iridescent illuminating fluid is just beautiful as well. It goes gorgeous under foundation. I can wear it under a matte, a soft matte velvet foundation like I did today with my oily skin during these hot humid days, and I'll also be able to get a lot of use out of it in the cooler months when I change up my foundations as well. And the Rouge Coco Flash are gorgeous. The shade Rosa is beautiful, and I've come to love this peachy shade as well. I just have to go a little bit easy with it, but with this eyeshadow look and the blush, it's just beautiful. And as I said, it's just a really gorgeous summer look. Now this Chanel collection isn't online yet, not at the time of me filming this video, but it should be available very soon. I think it's going to be at the beginning of March, and when it is I will put it on my community page and also on my Instagram stories as well. So that's it for today's video. I would love it if you gave it a like and subscribed, and I will see you next time. Bye.